Before we jump into today's video, if y'all go over to our website, www.justinswanstrom69.com, we just released a new shirt. I was gonna save it and just keep it for whenever we go to Australia, but there were so many people interested in a new design that they wanted me to sell it over here in the States. So we put it up on the website. It's a limited order. It is going fast. So if you want to, head on over there, click on the link in the description down below, and let's go ahead and get your merch. With that being said, we are back out here in the shop today. We did not get to go testing. Testing did get canceled for this car. So in the last video that you got to see with us getting this thing fired up, we said that we were gonna go ahead and freshen it up and get it ready for US Nationals. That is at the end of this month. We are gonna be running Pro Mod. Yes, a steel roof, steel quarter, street outlaw, no Prep Kings car will be going up against Pro Mods. We ran the class last year. We missed it by one number. I think the bump was a 372. We went a 373 with a 1. So we're gonna go ahead and try it again this year. It's gonna be a lot of fast cars. We'll see what we can do with this combo. But today we are going to be tearing this motor down, freshening it up, getting it ready so we can actually go do some testing next week. Y'all got to see Uncle Mike in the car. That was the first time he got to make a pass in 5 years. I was happy for him. He did have some converter issues. Him and Dad actually were inside the shop working on the car. They got the converter out, they got it sent off, and they're just waiting on it to get it back. He will also be down there at US Street Nationals with us running in the no time class. So today, this process we got to go through. We got to make sure we drop the oil. Once we drop the oil, we'll take off our exhaust. Once the exhaust and everything's off, then we'll go ahead and start smacking the heads and getting those things off. Once the heads are off, then we just got to go ahead and drop the bottom pan completely, and then go ahead and take out of the rods, smack the rods and pistons out, put a new set of rods in, put it back down in the motor, slap it all together, and then we'll fire back up. Sounds a lot easier than what it is, don't you think? But process with me here doing it by myself, you can knock it out in a couple hours if you have a few guys and everything's ready to go. But me being here, it's probably gonna take me all day to do it, but I'm gonna go ahead and knock it out and get this thing fired back up for y'all so we can continue to keep moving on and figuring out how to get faster with this combo. That's the game plan. And then get ready for the new car coming out. There's a lot of people that's been asking about the new car side piece. When's it gonna be ready? I've already got with Cameron. We're in talks about it. I'm leaving in the middle of February to head to Australia, so I'm going to be relying on Cameron a lot to 1, get the car finished, 2, take it to get it wired, 3, take it down to Mike to have it all the body work and everything done to it to get it all completed so we can get ready for season 6 no Prep Kings. All right, guys, so as you can see, we got the belt off and everything. There's been a lot of people that's asking the maintenance on these cars. Let's first just start off with the belt real quick. The belt, I like to run between 12 and 15 passes. I have taken them up to 17 to 20 runs. About 20 runs, I had one completely shred on me. So that's the only time that I just wanted to see how far we could go. But between 12 and 15 runs, I like to change them. Or if I feel like maybe we're going into a final or something and just don't want to chance it, we'll go ahead and slap a new belt on. Now that we got the belt off, I had to count the teeth real quick because the rules are a little bit different when we go to run Pro Mod. See, over on NPK, we're allowed a 98% overdrive. And Pro Mod, you're only allowed 92. So I had to count the teeth on the pulleys for the top and the bottom, and we have a 36 up top with a 71 down below. So what you do is you take your bottom one and you divide it, your top one divided into your bottom one, and that'll give your overdrive. So right now you would take 71 divided by 36, it gives you, I think, like 1.97. You round it up, 98% overdrive. So I had to come up with, just calculate some numbers and come up to try to get this thing down to 92. So ran some numbers. We found out that if we run a 71 down below and we run a 37 tooth up top, that'll give us 1.91, which comes out to be almost 92% overdrive. That's what we're allowed to run in Pro Mod. So I called up Proline. We are getting that ordered. We're getting that in this week. So we will be inside the rules for next week when we go down there and qualify and try to race in the Pro Mod class. But yes, the belt gets about 12 to 15 runs. This one only has 3 passes on it, so we will put this back on there and continue running it out until we go ahead and change it. But now that we got it off, we're going to start taking our fuel lines off. Inside here, you'll see that we have a screen right here. This thing is a screen that protects the fuel or any trash in the fuel that will run to the back and send it down inside the blower. So we do have spare screens. As you can see, we check these pretty often to be able to make sure that we have no trash or anything that's clogged up in there, and we're able to get fuel. But once we go ahead and get these lines off, we get the lines off at the rear of the intake, get all the wiring and everything unplugged, and we'll go ahead and snatch the intake bolts out and then be able to snatch this intake and blower everything off in one shot. We also have this cool little box right here that I put inside the trailer because we were tired of making messes on the pit mat, at the track, or here inside the shop. So basically, when we take any of the fuel lines off, any of the oil lines off, we take these caps or plugs and we go ahead and cap it or plug it to make sure no dirt or anything gets inside while we are actually working on the car. So for this one here, you'll see we leave the screen inside it so we never lose the screen. Done taught the guys that one. And then you just screw them on, and they're just like if the line was hooked back up. I don't know exactly which one goes on the bottom. I think this one's it. Damn, I'm good. I know it's kind of a rare sight, guys, you know, seeing me actually work on the car. As you read all the comments and you read everybody out there in the internet world, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to work on the car. I don't know anything about it. Only thing I do is just sit my fat ass down inside the seat and run it in the walls. All right, guys, so it is a little hard to try to get the video while I was out there doing it. I was able to call my brother and my dad over there to help me get the blower off. That's what you've seen us. They actually, Larry Jeffers makes a part that actually helps us out tremendously. And it allows us to be able to take the blower off the top of the motor and be able to set it on the ground, and it actually allows it to hover over the ground, so it's not just sitting on concrete or in the grass or wherever you're at. But now that we got those off, or the blower off, we went ahead and picked the car back up. We're coming up here because, you know, all my tools are in Australia right now, so I am having to work out of my toolbox that's in the back. But for the power tools, because I don't have nothing in the trailer, I'm gonna come up here. I'm gonna steal my dad's real quick because the DeWalt that's back there is just not taking it off. We use a Milwaukee deal, and we got to go ahead and take these rocker arms off, take the head studs off, and be able to get these heads and everything out. So game plan is to come up here, steal his stuff, go back there, start tackling, taking the rocker arms off. Then we'll go eat lunch. We'll come back. We'll start taking the heads off. Once we get done with all that, we'll drain all the oil. We'll drop the oil pan, and then we will go ahead and start smacking rods and pistons out to get everything changed over. So far, everything is going good. It's going pretty smooth. We should be able to have this thing done by the end of the day. Guys, like I was saying, so basically we got this setup that allows the blower to hover over the ground. It keeps it up in the air. Everything's good. We will switch out the panels and everything on it. And now we're gonna go ahead and start taking these rocker arms and push rods off. Yep. We'll go through, we'll clean everything up. We'll make sure all the lifters and everything are good. I do have a full set of heads that we will be putting on here. And then send these heads off to get them all fixed up.
You need to tell everybody don't waste money on the DeWalt's no more.
I told them the DeWalt's suck. This one right here, I mean, this one's not as big as mine, so I mean, I hope it takes off the head studs. It should.
Yeah, so yeah, that's a newer one. It's got like 675.
Gotcha.
So it's gonna take none.
Yeah, the DeWalt can't even compare with. I bet you they took a big hit whenever Milwaukee came out with their stuff.
I mean, this one right here is like a souped up. They make a weaker one than this, which is probably like the one we got that I got in DeWalt. But.
All right, so we got the rockers off. As you can see, we went and ate lunch. Now we come back. Now we got to take the rocker stands off. Once we take the rocker stands off, we'll go ahead and undo all our header bolts, get the headers out of the way, and then the only thing we got to do, it goes pretty fast at this point, is take off all the header nuts, and then our head nuts, I'm sorry. Take off all the nuts for the heads, and go ahead and pull these heads off, and then we'll go ahead and drop to the bottom, and then we'll make sure everything's all cleaned up. We do have some oil leaks going on this oil pan, so I think I'm gonna end up having to actually order an oil pan from Proline. Been running this setup for 2 years. You know, all the vibration, a lot of stress. Even though we're welding the pan up, it's still continuing to crack. So we need to go ahead and address that and get that fixed. So we don't have no oil leaks out there on the track. We don't want that. But everything's moving pretty smoothly, and we're gonna keep pecking away at it. All right, guys, so now that you've seen that we got the rocker stands off real quick, and I'm just trying to do quick time lapse so y'all can see exactly what I'm doing, because I could sit here and explain all day long what I'm doing, and there's a lot of people out there that don't really understand, because there was at a point in time where I didn't understand what was going on too. But over time, I have taken this motor apart, I've put it together. I literally can do this in my sleep with my eyes closed. With that being said, that's why we got the time-lapse videos just playing along so y'all could see the process and a little bit more of a fast-forward pace, because it does take a little bit of time consuming being able to disassemble this motor and assemble it back. But now that we got those off, we're gonna go ahead and undo these headers. As you can see, all the EGTs are hooked up to the firewall. They come from Fuel Tech with the, I call it like a safety support. It allows the EGT to not be able to vibrate out. If you lose your EGTs, you're not able to see what cylinders are running hot, which ones are running lean while going down the track. So it is very important to make sure that you have all EGTs on the car and make sure that they're all working. So we'll go ahead and undo the EGTs from the firewall because they will stay in the headers. Then we will take the headers off. Once we take the headers off, we got to go through, knock out all these head nuts, and once we do that, then the heads just slide off. We're continue to keep moving this thing forward. We're doing pretty well. So enough of me talking. Let's jump back into the time lapse and let's see what we got going on. All right, guys, so we got the heads off, as you can see. Doesn't look like there really is any issues. Surface of the head still looks good.
No.
There's nothing burnt. What are you saying?
That shit's fucked up.
No, it ain't messed up. Down inside here, everything seems to be all right. We'll get Dad to come down here and look at it. Man, look how big this dog is. Sit. Sit.
Just for comparison, this is a 60-pound GSP.
How much does he weigh?
Like 90.
90. Hell yeah, look at that thing.
Come here. Big bitch.
All the pistons, nothing seems to be broke or anything, but we'll check all that stuff out. One thing we try to look at is down here in the pocket area. That's where the piston gets weak, so over time they will crack or break right there, or if they're detonating they'll break. But we've had a pretty good tune up on this thing, and Dad's got it running good, so luckily we don't have no issue. We'll pull the rods and pistons out, we'll check all that. We will be changing rods, but we might put these same pistons and rings back in, and then we'll go ahead and knock out all the lifters, make sure the lifters and everything are good, clean all the oil up, and then we start assembling and putting this thing back together. All right, guys, so now we're gonna go ahead and drain the oil out. As you can see, we have an oil leak somewhere, so we got a whole bunch of oil. We will get that looked at once we get the motor all tore down, but this is usually what most people try not to make a mess at. I'm hoping I don't make a mess either. Well, I got it. I was trying not to make a mess. Look at that all coming out. So while we let that thing drain for a little bit, and then we'll drop this pan and we'll start smacking rods and pistons out. But I usually don't do that. Every now and then. I can't be perfect at everything.
What are you doing down there?
I'm always working.
Yeah.
I'm the only one ever working.
This is the first time.
This is the first time you showed up.
Because I got a real job. Well, I mean, I have a job that I have to go to.
So basically what you're just trying to say is, you know, we don't have real jobs.
No, I'm not saying that, Justin.
That's exactly what he just said, guys.
I know that you work hard at your video.
That's what he just said, guys.
It's a lot of work because I've been doing it myself, so I know.
But
I know what
I'm just
it is.
saying, that's exactly what you just said. Justin, isn't that what you heard? Pretty much
He's
what I
not going
heard.
to say nothing right now. He's going to be quiet.
I mean, I got a real job too.
Yeah.
That's why I just now get over here.
All right, Mike, go on that side.
You going to hit it out or what?
Maybe I do gotta take this. Dude, it's been so long since I've had to.
I think what happened was you pushed it too fast. And it's caught between the head gasket and the block.
See, this is his first time working on it. You don't know what he's
It
doing.
should. No, my other setup, it would go right through the head gasket. But for some reason, it's because the crank's in the way a little bit. Mike, figure out what socket fits on this thing here, and we can put a ratchet on it, please. We need to spin this motor a little bit. I don't want to spin it with the starter.
It's the equipment.
Tighten or
Yeah,
loosen?
turn it.
Tighten?
Do it again.
He's kind of like,
No, keep going the way you're going. Mike, feel that thing. Is that thing loose on him?
yeah. Hold
There
on.
it is. That's tightened.
That bolt was loose.
God damn.
We better put some Loctite on that.
Which way? We need the motor. Yeah, because this thing's counterclockwise, right? All right, spin it that way. See if you can spin it.
Just go slow.
Keep going. No. Spin it the way
Oh.
you're going. Yeah, tighten your way you're going. Oh, there you go. Keep going the way you're going. Keep going. Keep going. Right there. Dude, that thing was loose.
It was way loose. That would have been really, really bad. Dude, I'm thinking.
Okay. See if you can push it back down. All right.
You got to give me an upward zing path.
Sorry, guys. Mike's not too good with the whole camera holding thing, so I know he was just sitting there looking at the
'cause
motor the whole time.
I was.
I know you were. It was just like this.
I
You were like this as you were talking over here.
I was shining it on you.
Is that what it was?
You're on the spotlight.
No. You were shining on the piston like that.
I know. I was shining it down there so they could see your pretty face.
See me doing all the work.
Right.
All right, let's try to get these.
Yeah. You got spare gaskets just in
It'd be
case?
all right. If you need to, just set them
I mean-
back on the ground and hit them with a hammer, flatten them back up.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Let's go. Usually whenever the bearing's stuck to a crank, that's because it's been beat out of. Yeah. So, go ahead and bring that one up, Gash. Come on, man, what are you doing? It's your first day on the job? First day on the job, guys. Check that hole out right there. That's when she tells you it's her first time.
Uncle Mike was in a hole like that one time.
Here, Justin, hold this for me real quick. Man, I'm telling you what, man, a lot of these rings got beat up. I'm telling you, it's from whenever we smacked that rev limber at that Christmas tree race. Man, if we just wouldn't have went to the Christmas tree race, we probably would have been better off. You know what I'm saying? So guys, when we take it out, now I will go through and I'll make sure I'll clean all the oil out, get brake clean it out, because oil will stick to rings. But some of them you'll see where they'll get nice and hard. Either the piston is collapsing, not allowing the ring to move. But we're gonna go ahead and set this over here in our rod rack. Which one was this, Mike? Number 5?
Yeah.
I cut myself. Which one you got now? Oh, look at you, dude. Here. Mike, can I bring you on full time?
Yeah. I wish you would.
What you need a week? Like 450? 450, he's in there.
I'll do it for the next month.
For 450?
I'll quit my job. I'll come.
I'll do it for the next month for 3.
I have a lot of help. If everybody wanted 450 a week, plus benefits now. Your benefits is 5,000 a month, so.
That's what I'm talking about.
So now you're looking at around 67, 80. We kind of smack that thing up out of there. Imagine if you could lay the wood like that, Mike.
I can.
Stop it. Don't lie to yourself.
Been doing it for 53 years.
Stop it.
Here's the bearing.
We're gonna go.
What the hell?
We're gonna put all new stuff in it so we can go beat the shit out of it again. All right, guys. So we got all the rods and pistons out. That'll be it for this video, and we're done for the night. There is some stuff that we need to order from Proline, get back in here. We're also gonna go ahead and take the fuel pump and all that off so we can get to the front of this motor, pull it apart, make sure everything is good and sealed back up when we put it back together. There's a couple stuff that's came loose. As you've seen, the crank bolt on the front, that thing was loose. So we just need to go through, we need to check everything, make sure this thing is 100% correct when we go to Bradenton next week to run Pro Mod at US Street Nationals. So everything seems to look good. The heads seem to look good. We do have a few pistons that seem to be a little squished, but once we get it cleaned up, we'll make a final say-so on that. The heads, the fuel looks to be good. We did have an issue. We were at the track, and first time I've ever done it, I did it. I forgot to turn the burnout mode off in the car. And I don't need a burnout mode. It's just a safety limiter there in case we need it. But I left it on, I let go of the button, and it just rode the rev limiter, and I think that's what knocked the springs out you seen in the last video, and it knocked the bearings out and the rings out on the pistons. So we're gonna put everything new in it, we're gonna get it back together. We turned the burnout rev mode off. I can control the burnouts good enough, and I don't need it, but we'll have this thing back together here in a couple days once we get some parts and stuff in from Proline, and then we'll finalize everything up, get it put back together, and we'll be out testing here soon.